Breaking news, Bianchi is bringing production back to Italy. The oldest manufacturer of bicycles is going to build a factory in Italy and start making its carbon frames back in its home country. So when we see made in Italy, it will be made in Italy. So let's just have a look at what this is going to entail for Bianchi and my opinions on why I think this is a really good move. Bianchi currently make their carbon frames in Vietnam, but due to the demand of e-bikes and carbon push bikes quadrupling, Bianchi have made the bold decision to bring its manufacturing back to Italy and build a brand new factory. Well, this factory is going to be a massive factory of 10,000 square meters. It's going to lift the current production from about 250 to 350 bicycles to 1,000 to 1,500 bicycles per day. It's going to cost them about £30 million to set up this venture. It's going to be primarily robotics, which is going to reduce quality variation, and it should be in operation within about 2 years from what Bianchi are claiming. Well, my opinion on this is a really bold move by Bianchi. It has significant risk. If the downturn tanks after COVID, they could be in a bit of a pickle. But the pros to it are that they can then dominate in the European market. They can meet the bicycle demand, especially in the e-bike market, which is very lucrative at the moment, and a lot of people are using these for transport. Now, the other thing that I do believe has been happening in the bicycle industry, which is probably, hands up, Wayne, has probably been driving this as well, is that there seems to be a view by consumers now that products are cheap and cheerful, and they're asking extremely expensive prices. So you're not really getting the product or the quality that you're paying for when you buy these bikes. And this move by Bianchi, moving the factory back to Italy, where there's also the prestige of a Italian-made bike, and also having control over the quality control, using robotics that are going to minimize the tolerances, is really going to be a feather in their cap for the consumers when they're buying bicycles. They'll probably say, hey, look, I'm going to buy the Bianchi because it's made in Italy, and also they've got great quality control. On a technical point, this is a really great news for Bianchi because they're using robotics and they can set up the tolerances. It makes the product, or the variance of error in the product, which is your bell curve that goes like this, will actually become much narrower. And what this allows the engineers to do, it allows them to take out the design parameters to allow for that variation. So if you've got a product that's right out here and it's varying, you need to put extra material and over design it so you don't have so many rejections in your quality control. But if you're using robotics and systems that are very accurate and can do things, the repeatability is very good, then the engineers can bring their tolerances back to a very narrow design criteria, because they know when it gets out to the factory, the variance is going to be very small. And what this can be for the consumer is better quality control. This bike and the next bike and the next bike are going to be far closer in variation, and also they will probably be able to make the bikes lighter, and there will be less tolerance variations as far as mounting components on that bicycle. Well, you could really call this a revolution in the bicycle industry. At the moment, you have moulds and they're hand laid up by low-cost labour in the Far East. And that means that because they're handmade, there's a lot more variation. So what Bianchi are doing, they're taking a step up in processing to a controlled robotic processing, upping their output of their factories to give you a much better product at the end of the day and being able to deliver that product. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this comes out and the products that come out of this factory. It may take a little while before we actually see the quality, But generally, robots can make products better than human beings, and that's just the reality. So that's where I'm going to leave it, guys, and leave your comments down below. What do you think about Bianchi coming home to its heritage in Italy? I think it's a great thing, and as you can see up there on that little hat, the colours of Italy are there. And I've had a few Italian bikes, and they do ride very nicely, that's for sure. Okay, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. Catch you next vid.